Hello everyone, The Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring a Mardu Angel deck in Standard. The list is in the description below, as long as a link to where I got the deck from. I'm going to talk a little bit about the plan of the deck, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. So, it is a Mardu Angel deck for a reason, because we are Mardu colors, and we have a lot of angels. And the most important angel here is Giada, Font of Hope, which is the 2-mana 2/2 with Flying and Vigilance. It can tap to add 1 white mana that can be used to cast angels. But the really important part is, well, the mana is also important. But it modifies every angel that enters the battlefield and makes it bigger. So Giada can, if you have a Giada out on the battlefield on turn 2, on turn 3, you can cast an Archangel of Wrath and have a 4/5 flying lifelink creature. And that is just something that is so powerful, and a lot of decks just cannot deal with it or handle that. And this deck does a lot of other powerful things in addition to that. So, we have the wedding announcement in Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which we know in Standard are very powerful and important cards. And so these help generate tons of value over time. And they also combine with our other really great angel, Serra Paragon, which can recast those cards if they've been destroyed, right? And then we also have Inspiring Overseer, which, is a 2/1 that replaces itself. And then we have Enduring Angel, which does a lot of cool things, but honestly, I've read this card and played against it and played with it so many times, and I still don't know what it does, so maybe we'll figure it out when we play, and that's just be a little surprise. But we also have Sanctuary Warden, which we know is a very strong card, and if you can cheat it out on turn 5, again, a lot of the cards in our deck will draw us cards. And with Sanctuary Warden and, Fabled Nearbreaker and Inspiring Overseer, we can hopefully just keep on drawing so much gas and never run out of stuff to do. And specifically never run out of very powerful, evasive stuff to do. Right? And then we also have Liesa, Forgotten Archangel, which is a 4/5 flying lifelink creature. And what Liesa does is not only if your creatures die, she'll bring them back to your hand. The ability to make your opponent's death triggers not happen is very surprisingly relevant in Standard. It stops your opponent from draining you with Meat Hook Massacre, for instance, and other dies effects. And so it is something that, a lot of people don't necessarily consider, but it is very important. And also with how many reanimation things going on in Standard right now, stopping creatures from going to the graveyard is just very important. Now, with all that being said, let's hope that we can kill our opponents with a bunch of big flying lifelinking creatures. So let's play some games. Also, if you haven't already, you should totally like, comment, and subscribe. That's a great way to help support me and this channel. If you have any deck suggestions, please let me know. I am always looking for more things to play. And I have a Twitch if you want to watch me play live Magic. And I have a Metafy if you're interested in coaching. Those links are down below. Now, thank you for watching, and let's play some games. This hand seems pretty great. We have removal. We also have a wedding announcement and Fable Mirror Breaker as ways to interact with our opponent. And a turn 2 Giada. So, A+. Our opponent played an island, though, and that makes me think our opponent might be on some type of, mono blue tempo thing. And so drawing that Giada was very vital, because at least we have some type of threat going on that, our opponent's gonna have to deal with eventually. So we'll attack with Giada here. And whatever we're gonna play will be countered. So I'm just gonna put out a wedding announcement. And Syncopate is fine. What's unfortunate about Syncopate is that means that card cannot or will not be in our graveyard to recast with a potential Serra Paragon down the line, so that's a little unfortunate. We're gonna Fable Mirror Breaker. Our opponent could still Spell Pierce it, which would be bad. Ideally, our opponent just has 6 lands in hand, which, isn't gonna happen, but, we can pretend and that there's a Make Disappear. So now we're in a little bit of a pickle. Now, thankfully, we still get to attack with Giada here. I'm going to tap. Because we want to manually tap Giada there, so we have 2 mana to cast for, or pay for a Make Disappear, potentially. Our opponent has Impulse. Now, our opponent could probably cast a Tolarian Terror if they have that, and that'd be very, very bad. Polygen is a little less bad because we have the Fateful Absence. And if our opponent tries to counter it here, we at least have some type of... We can do something, right? So now, I'm kind of inclined to Inspiring Overseer here, because if we draw a land, then we can Serra Paragon. And I think that's really important. Yeah. We also had to manually tap our lands as well, because the auto tapper did not want us to use... That could have been very, very bad. So I'm glad we sorted that out. Alright, there's a Fading Hope there. Now we have an interesting... Our opponent didn't attack there, which makes sense. But now there's a lot our opponent could have, and I'm a little scared. Just a little bit. Now, I do wish... Oh, I messed up there. We tapped an extra mana. Hopefully that won't... Remember me being very, very careful? Hopefully it won't come back and bite us. But at least we get to Fable here. And our opponent will make disappear, and that's fine. But it goes back into our graveyard, which is really, really funny. And the Serra Paragon is now big enough to block the Tolarian Terror. So I think we may have stabilized a little bit. Like, we're not in a great spot, but we could be in a much worse spot. Alright, so now I kind of want to... GG. Good job. Good game. So we'll keep here. We have a turn 2 Giada into Mirror Breakers, multiple of them. Which, you know, seems good. And it's really going to depend on what our opponent... So our opponent is, what, on Esper something, which could be literally anything. So we will Giada here. We'll attack. Hopefully our opponent does not have counter magic for this Fable. Now, also something, it took me way too long to realize that Giada had Vigilance. And so it is almost always correct to attack with Giada, then cast stuff pre-combat. Like, it's just something that I didn't realize, and I kept on making that mistake over and over again. So, you know, be aware of that. Now, we're having a slight problem where we are drawing nothing good here. Both those Fables getting destroyed just really is letting our mana flood become very, very, very apparent. We could have Sokenzan Crucible of Defiance, but I think it might just be better to wait. I'm not sure, though. And do we want our opponent to draw? I think I just kind of want to kill that now. I don't want our opponent to draw. But maybe I should have. I'm not sure. Okay. Hopefully... that resolves. And we get to Giada here. Beautiful. And that's one of the really powerful things about this deck. A lot of our angels have a lot of inherent card advantage in them. So we can do... like, we just needed to top deck a Serra Paragon or a Sanctuary Warden, and we were fine. We'll just block here and not take that damage. And this is also a very important part of why we wanted to keep the land in our hand, right? Do I want to attack and leave it vulnerable to the Wandering Emperor? I don't, actually. Now we have more stuff to discard to keep Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And not attacking with the Serra Paragon is potentially a big mistake. And I'm willing to own that. But I think I just really value the card advantage more over the 3 damage. So that's unfortunate, so maybe we should have saw that coming. Duress on a grasp. Ouch. Okay. We can discard that. And 1, 2. Reckoner Bankbuster. I think the Archangel there was good. I'm, like, so afraid of the Wandering Emperor, though. I am so afraid. So I'm still not gonna attack. And the reason why I'm not... or, do you know what? Maybe we should. Alright, our opponent did have it. I was like, maybe I'm afraid of it. But I guess we might as well get the Wandering Emperor out of our opponent's hand.
And I will protect my people.
I guess... do you know what? This stops our opponent from gaining 2 life. And maybe this is bad. Maybe that's bad. Oh, but our opponent's gaining life anyway? Maybe that was just bad. But I kind of want to draw a card during my upkeep. And so we get an extra cycle from the Fable. And I don't want to give our opponent another draw. That was the main impetus. The denying our opponent 1 life was, like, kind of okay.
I guess that's that. Guards, to me.
Alright, so now what is happening? Yeah, let's draw a card here. Let's discard that. Okay. We have a lovely wedding announcement. I don't think we want to do anything yet. So we can block here. We're taking some damage, but then... I guess it's really going to depend on what happens. Opponent's crewing? Oh, ouch. So we have to do some blocking here. 1 and 2. Can we even afford to do this? We go to 4. We're gonna go to 2 with this block. Interesting. Don't kill the Kiki-Jiki. I need the Kiki-Jiki alive. Okay. Opponent draws here. Well. I think we have to do it for 1. And we deal 2 to our opponent. And then we go up to 4. There is potential that we're supposed to... I don't know if we're supposed to activate Kiki-Jiki on the Archangel and attack. If our opponent has a removal spell in response, that would be very, very bad for us. But I think we're okay just blocking here. I'm going to animate so we can just double block this. So we gain a lot of life. And then we can kind of breathe a little bit. I assume our opponent has a lot of interaction in hand. If this is how... Seems like our opponent's being very, very careful. Or maybe that means they don't have interaction. I don't know. There might be a Wandering Emperor. Maybe if we only blocked with one thing, our opponent could have played it and given it first strike. But again, lots of stuff going on here. Oh, wow. GG. Okay. This is a very, very tricky hand because we do not have white mana. However, we do have triple Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and that is basically the same. Right? Oh, is our opponent a werewolf gamer? This is not going to be good. Oh, no. Maybe we can draw something really, really good to block, like a Serra Paragon. Okay. So I'm doing this because this makes that Giada 3/3. And we also get to cast Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which will then transform our opponent's Frenzied Trap Breakers back, which is very, very important. Because now they're not 3/3s that can just attack and get rid of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, right? Okay. Our opponent... Let's discard 2. So I kind of want to get rid of the Kodama again. We get to attack with Giada. Now, thankfully, it seems like our opponent didn't draw particularly well. I wonder what's in hand. But, you know, we kind of stabilized, thankfully. And hopefully, this Fabled Mirrorbreaker draws us into, you know, good things. We also were very fortunate that we were able to double spell. Now, granted, we kind of had to do it. Like, we had to maybe not play ideally, but that was very, very important here. Not what I would love, but... Come on, we need to... Alright, that is beautiful. Oh, I can Archangel and just kill both the Liberators. It would not surprise me if this just was a concession right now, please. 1, 2. No. Okay. We will not attack. But now, ooh, a Defiler of Vigor. Oh, they're a Defiler gamer. That would make sense. Okay, well... Let's see what happens here. We're attacking with everything because this will allow our Archangel of Wrath to, like, throw around some damage to potentially kill our opponent. Our opponent's at 8. What I want to do now is... cast it with both kickers. And we can deal 2 to the Liberator and 2 to our opponent. And I think we have to be good now, right? Right? Defiler can do some pretty disgusting things, but I think we're fine. Fingers crossed. It wouldn't surprise me if our opponent had more Defilers in hand. Maybe, and that's why there were so many turns where they didn't cast anything. Alright, yeah. So Silverback Elder. Silverback Elder with Defiler is a really interesting engine. Yeah. But sadly, I don't think there's anything with reach. Yeah. So, GG. Well, everyone, thank you for watching me play some Mardu Angels. I love this deck. It is fantastic. Giada is just one of my favorite tribal cards ever. And it's just really, really powerful and allows you to do really cool things. And the Angel Suite is kind of just really, really good in Standard right now. We have a bunch of things that, you know, generate card advantage and give you lots of life and a lot of interaction with the Archangel of Wrath. So it just kind of does everything you want to be doing, and it does it in a really cool and interesting way, and that makes me very, very happy. I will be playing this a lot more, and maybe even best of three, so I'll probably create a sideboard eventually, who knows. But yeah, no, this deck is great. I would highly recommend it, and yeah. With all that being said, if you haven't already, you should totally like, comment, subscribe. You could also watch me stream live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve, and I also do coaching on Metafy. All those links are down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope maybe you learned something, because I definitely did. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.